got a haircut. I had to wait online. I spent more time online than in the barber's chair, but I got a haircut. It's Friday, June 12th, and here's a quick update on the virus. There are now more than 2 million confirmed cases of the virus in the U.S., and health experts have issued a new and bleak prediction. Following widespread reopenings, another 100,000 people in the U.S. will die of the disease by September, pushing the toll to well over 200,000. While infection numbers and hospitalizations are going up in some states, health officials in Missouri are looking into an unusual case. 2 hairstylists there who worked while they had coronavirus symptoms did not infect the 140 clients they served in mid-May. So county health officials called the result encouraging and said they are looking into the case for an insight in how to stop the virus spread. That could be unusual and that could be helpful. But if we're reopening too early and letting people do what they want to do, and people, of course, are getting tired of being cooped up and think they're invulnerable, right? So we have to be very careful, and we have to stick with the plan, which is wear a mask, wear a mask, wear a mask, stay 6 feet apart, social distance, and we'll all get through this thing. So right now in this country, there's a big hullabaloo about all things Confederate. And the president has been asked to rename major bases in this country that were named after Confederate officers, generals mostly. So I'm not in favor of that necessarily. I could care one way or another. But if somebody's name is going to upset people, then, I might have kids that are not going to play with anybody that's named Jefferson. Am I going to do that? Is anybody going to do that? Or if your son has a friend named Robert, is that going to be a problem for you? I think we're getting a little bit overboard with this whole thing. Now, with respect to the Confederate flag, that's a whole other issue. We had the other day an article that said several Marine Corps officers, commanding officers of bases, had their troops who had Confederate flags among their personal property and displaying them in the barracks or whatever, were told to remove it. All symbols of the Confederacy were to be removed. The flags were to be removed. Now, I think removing the Confederate flag is clearly a good idea. NASCAR has come out and said they're going to ban it from their races. And the flag should be banned because it's taken on a horrible symbol. It's taken on the symbol of white supremacy. They hang this flag out alongside the swastika when the white supremacists march and hold rallies. They march with the flag. They march with swastikas. They march with lighted candles. Now, those symbols are evil, and they should be taken away. As far as the names of bases, people's names, I have no problem with that. But the Confederate flag is a big, big problem in my mind in this country. It's a symbol of hate, and it's hate against a lot of different people, not only blacks. It's a hate against Jews, probably a hate against Muslims. I think there's very few people that the Confederate flag doesn't represent hate for. So that's what I think about the Confederate flag. In fact, there is a group called the Lincoln Project, which is a Republican super PAC, which was created to help defeat Trump in the 2020 election. It was founded by notable members of the GOP, including George Conway, husband to White House counselor Kelly Conway. Now, this group released an ad on Sunday as the protests and riots spread around the country, right? And this group released an ad that is clearly against the Confederate flag. And when they released the ad, they made this statement: "No patriotic American should brandish or proudly celebrate the iconography of a rebellion that resulted in tremendous devastation, the loss of more than 620,000 American lives, and the continued subjugation of Black America." I think that says it all. Now I want to switch to a business topic, and I'm going to tell you a personal story. When I was running a company, we had a piece of proprietary software that was on the leading edge of our industry. And I noticed that there were rating services that were rating software and how effective they were. And many of our competitors happened to be in this, publication, right? A guide, so to speak. So I called them up one day And I said, how come you haven't approached me? Because I'm well known in the industry, and we have a proprietary piece of software that I'd like you to review. And they said, certainly, we certainly could do that. And so I said, okay, what's the deal? And they said, $50,000. Will give us $50,000. We'll review your software. So it dawned on me right away that this review service was a sham. Because if I gave them $50,000, there was no way in the world that they were going to write a bad review about my product. And that's how all these other products were viewed. None of these products were viewed badly. I mean, most of them got an A or an A minus. There were no Bs. There were no Cs. There were no failures. So that's what I found out about rating services. So now I want to tell you the story about Golf Digest. Now, Golf Digest is the premier rating service for golf courses in the United States. Almost every year they publish an issue that's the 100 greatest golf courses or the 100 best golf. And how do they know they're the best golf course? Well, they have a team of people, apparently, that go out and play these golf courses. Now, these guys have to be decent golfers to play these courses. But in order to play these courses, it's not like you can just get on these courses. Many of these courses are private courses. Public courses you could get on easily. Now, in order for this guy who's rating them to get on, he must display to them his rating card. And it's not unusual for these guys to walk away with shirts and pants and balls and clubs from the golf course that they have just been assigned to rate. So when I listen to that, I say it's baloney. You can't trust the rating service. They're getting paid. Not only is the rating service getting paid, probably, these courses probably advertise in Golf Digest. And the gentleman who's doing the rating, he's getting bribed. And now, the reason this thing has come up is because Golf Digest has announced, or somebody has announced, that they're going to re-rate these golf courses. They're going to use a different system. Well, my problem is, I don't care what the system is. If a human is involved, there is going to be chicanery. It's just human nature. I'm going there to rate you guys. I'm going to give you a bad rating if you give me shirts and pants and balls and you let me play for free maybe for a couple of years, So I think it's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. And that's my stories for today. Have a great day. I'll see you in the morning.